Hey guys, welcome to our Disney Market mini-series here at the Short Term Show. Make sure you like and subscribe. We're doing a 10-episode deep dive on not only this market, but all of our markets. So definitely check those out. Like and subscribe to those, the Short Term Show, Short Term Rental Management Show. We got a lot of shows out there for you guys that hopefully you guys are finding helpful. So a couple things that I want to hit before we go into it is if you are looking for current purchase prices or current income numbers, we have those on our website at theshorttermshop.com. So be sure to check that out. Also, if you're looking to just hang out, learn some things from some other short-term rental investors, we've got you. You can join our Facebook group with us and 60,000 of our closest investor friends, where we just hang out and talk about short-term rental investing all day. Same title as my book, Short-Term Rental, Long-Term Wealth. Also, like and subscribe on YouTube to the Short Term Shop channel. Also, like us on Instagram at the Short Term Shop. If you guys have any questions, if you're ready to maybe buy a property in one of our 20 markets and learn how to manage it from us for free, you can hit us at agents@theshorttermshop.com or literally any of the other avenues that I gave you right before that. So let's get to it.
All right, here we are. Short-term show special episodes today. We're going to introduce you to the Orlando, the Disney market, the wonderful world of taking your kids to see princesses and having an awesome place to do that as well. So let me introduce Wade, Holly, and Jessica, all three fantastic agents with the Short Term Shop. And I'll go ahead and let you guys introduce yourselves. Wade, tell us a little bit about yourself as we are going to spend the next 10 or so podcasts hanging out with you.
Yeah. So guys, welcome. I hope we have a phenomenal journey experience just going through the Orlando market. My name is Wade. I'm a Disney fanatic. I love all things Disney. If anyone has any questions, would love to be a resource. Ranked 35 under 5 award winner for Orlando. Love the market and just here to be available for anyone that needs it.
All right. Don't be shy, Wade.
Hey.
Holly,
what more?
Holly, go ahead. Oh wait, hold on. Wait, you do own real estate as well? I'm sorry. Go ahead with you own a couple of properties.
Yeah. So 2 Airbnbs and 2 long terms and more on the way.
And you're a younger gentleman, aren't you?
26.
If I owned 4 doors at 26, the world would be at my fingertips. So bravo. Okay, Holly, go ahead. Tell us about yourself.
Hi, I am also an agent here in Orlando and the area, and I have 5 short-term rentals right now, and always looking to buy more. And I've been with the Short Term Shop for a couple of years now. Started out with Avery. I think I've been buying since 2018, 17, something like that. So yeah, but happy to be here. Love the area, love the weather, and traffic from all the tourists all the times. But that's what we get here in our market. It's always fun. Always something going on.
A good vacation market always has horrible traffic. And Jessica, how are you?
So many people here.
I'm doing well. So my name is Jessica Puma. I recently, about a year ago, moved from New York to Florida. I did have a short-term rental back in upstate New York, but we've been getting reestablished down here for the last year or so, which I love Florida. I can't say enough good things about it. It's beautiful here, and it's just an awesome place to vacation.
Wonderful. So let's talk about the vacations. Why are we? I mean, there's a very obvious reasons in this market compared to any other market on the planet, really. But why are we coming here? Wade, I'll start with you.
Yeah. So voted #1 market in the nation by the Tourist Association, over 70 million visitors a year. The big thing Orlando has going for it is probably just going to be consistency with local laws, regulation, and number of tourists who are coming back on a year-over-year basis. So a lot of people are concerned about, if I can't rent this Airbnb, what's going to be my desirability over the coming years? We've been in Airbnb or short-term market really for 20, 30 years now. So a lot of those items that are unhashed in other areas have been really kind of perfected, I would say, in our local market here. And it just makes for a really phenomenal experience. And then we have a lot of fun stuff to do inside homes, which we'll go into later. But that's really the big thing is Disney is just a huge name and we get a lot of attraction for it.
70 million a year. That's
Over
just
70
absolutely mind blowing. And Holly, why do you love the market? Why are people coming there? Obviously, the mouse is the big one.
We have the mouse. We do have the mouse, and we have Universal and SeaWorld and Legoland. And besides that, in the Orlando area, we're very close to both coasts. You've got the Space Coast for all the launches. You're like an hour something away, and then also Tampa. So it's a great central location for golfers. And we attract a large demographic of people, and from around the world, actually, because a lot of people here or know Orlando and other countries also. So we have a lot of attractions here, and they're all growing too. So like Wade was saying, there's always questions or concerns about the market and what this or that, but the people that know at Disney and Universal, they're expanding, and they're not expanding because they're scared or it's dead. They're making a hell of a lot of money and are continuing to do so.
Legoland is independent, yes, not related to Disney, or do you guys even know? I don't think they're the same thing.
Which one? Who?
Legoland?
No, Legoland's completely different.
Yeah, down past Davenport. Yeah, slightly different location, but pretty centrally located. I'm interested because I want to go there.
It is, and they also, but we now they bring it up, the MSC cruise ship that goes out of Port Canaveral, which is another thing that a lot of people come to the Orlando market for, because they go over to the port for cruises. But when you go on a cruise, you have to come a day or two early, because if your flight's delayed or changed, there's no cruise ship that's going to wait for you. So people come down a couple of days early, and so they stay in Orlando to go to Disney or Legoland, and then they can shoot over to the Cape on the day of their. It's just an hour drive away to get on their cruise ship. So that's another huge attraction here. And I just brought that up because the MSC has Legoland on their ships, and Disney, of course, has Disney, and Carnival, and some of them I think have like things related to SeaWorld. So they all integrate together. So you get the whole experience for your vacation and your kids when you come down here for pretty much anything.
All right, that's good. Give me a rundown of what you love about the area. Of course, the tourism is number one here, but what's driving? Why am I coming there?
So kind of to circle back around to what both Wade and Holly had mentioned, was just with Disney being here, I think it offers a lot of stability to our market. It becomes kind of an important vacation for families, just because they want to give their child that experience. And then just with the sheer traffic numbers, people coming through, it really makes for a good investment, just because people do want to come here, and they're coming from all over the world.
Yes, and we do have a local population here. That is quite a bit different than any just give or take vacation market. And of course, where the short-term shop generally operates, Orlando is the odd man out, with maybe a small exception of the Scottsdale area, but that's a completely different animal. You've got 3 million people living in the Orlando metro, which is way different.
For now.
Well,
for now, they think we'll be up to 5 million by 2030.
Oh,
because we're welcoming over 130,000 people a week. Still,
yeah, it's one of the fastest growing cities in the U.S.
Taxes, weather, and the stability of these large corporations that we're talking about. They provide a lot of employment, and
so we're also one of the last cities in Florida where you can get an average price point of under $450 to $500K for like a 4-bedroom. So you can't really say that for a lot of major cities in the nation. So that's another thing.
Purchase price, but you would maybe more so be referring to primary homes with that statement, or
primary and Airbnbs. So they actually can both apply here, but you can get a 4-bedroom for sub $450, and they're pretty dang decent homes, whether it be a primary or for an Airbnb. And the number of visitors who are coming here and or the number of people who are moving here, both of them just find a lot more affordable.
Yeah, generally when we talk vacation towns, like Destin or maybe Blue Ridge, you're talking areas where nobody lives and millions of people come and visit. And it is a bit of a different vibe here because there are so many people that live in this metro area, but the ratio is still there. Like I remember one time somebody said, well, Luke, there's, you're talking about how the best vacation markets have a lot of tourists, and I live in Seattle and we've got like 8 million tourists a year. And I'm like, well, yeah, but you've got 2 million people living there. I'm making these numbers up, but you get the idea. But still here in this Orlando metro area, you're talking a massive ratio difference, even though there are a lot of people living there, 3 million. And again, that's just
3 million to 75 million. Yeah, it's still,
but it goes
a very small
5 in
ratio.
the tourists, so the ratio is massive difference. And that's what makes a good market for short-term, for vacation rentals.
When you bring that up, though, about that we also are a bit of a city, in my opinion, it helps a lot because I am in some markets that are just short-term rental. You have the benefit of more companies or boots on the ground, I guess you would say, like HVAC companies or cleaners. There's not just, you know what I mean? That like you can use say TAC or findmeaplumber.com or whatever versus where in other markets it's word of mouth.
So I would actually go a step farther. I mean, just furniture assembly. People don't want to hire their cleaner. They don't want to hire a handyman. We actually have designated people who will just assemble furniture here in Orlando. So those small niche contacts, they're just all over the place. And it's really nice to be able to sustain the local market for people who are out of state, especially. It works really, really well.
Yeah, that's huge because if you go to a little town, like Branson or something that with a different area code, they're dealing with somebody who probably hasn't even seen their house that many times and doesn't really know their way around. And hiring people and getting things done is a completely different animal. I'm not going to say it's going to be easier in an Orlando market. Hiring and firing and getting things done on a piece of rental real estate is never easy. It's in any business. To find a good employee of any kind, period. I don't care whether you own a gas station and you're looking for a new cashier or whatever the case may be. It is very difficult, but much different vibe here. Let me put it this way. It's probably going to be a lot more similar to what you're used to in wherever you live than it is in a real deal vacation market. That's a whole different way of talking to people in those vacation, where nobody lives. And down here, you're probably going to get somebody that is a similar vibe to, somebody that if you happen to live in Toledo, Ohio, or whatever the case may be. Am I coming to the area for reasons other than Disney? And if so, would I stay in the same house that I would be staying in if I were to be going to Disney?
Yes.
Go ahead, Holly.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a great example that's coming up very soon is Bigger Pockets, the conference. I have a lot of people that I know are coming in. So the conference center here in Orlando is big. I want to say it's like the second largest in the whole US, I think, after Las Vegas. So we have a lot of traffic, people coming in for other events. And, if your property is located in Kissimmee, you're only about 20 minutes away from the Orlando area. So you're still in a good proximity for people to want to stay at your property, even if they are attending some of the other events.
Golf is huge. And the sporting events, especially with kids.
Yep.
Cheerleading.
Yeah. That's
now, would that be a draw? Let's say I'm marketing my rental. Is the draw that the family's coming to go to Disney, but we can suck that in because there's a great golf course down the street? Or are there people that are coming strictly for the golf, or all of the above?
So I would go amenity based. The amount of things that you can do in a general area to entertain any individual population, because people are traveling to different areas for a lot of different reasons. If you're able to provide, one of the hardest things to stick out now, especially in Airbnbs in any market, is amenities. If you're able to provide a close distance to all the ESPN sport areas, if there's going to be national football games, if there's going to be Disney, Universal, Fun Spot, Legoland, you've got these convention centers, being able to provide amenities and or just close access to all of those things in one, it's accumulation of all those things that kind of just make it desirable.
And we have them all here. Yeah,
absolutely. Okay. And you already mentioned purchase price, but let's dive deeper on that. Now, I would assume you can buy something that's very expensive as well. They run the gamut, but I'll start with Wade, just because you're on the top of my screen. Where give me kind of a rundown of what I can get for, and you don't have to give real numbers, but just kind of a broad range.
Sure. Yeah. So we have a lot of townhouses and single family here. So I'll give two ranges. Usually your smaller 3 to 5 bedrooms is about where we start in our market. 3 to 5 bedrooms, you're going to be in the low 300s, I would say, up until maybe mid 500s on a townhouse. Those are still pool properties inside really desirable neighborhoods. So 3 to 500K. And then single family, if you're inside a resort, your single family usually starts around 600K. So right where those townhouses end, and that's going to be in a cheaper area. And we can get into the 800 to million range pretty quickly for some of those more expensive, luxurious areas. Golfing communities that are very well known, such as Reunion, massive visitor count going to those golfing communities. They can get pretty expensive, but I would say our bread and butter is usually sub 700K for most people.
Jessica, do you have anything to add to that?
So yeah, I mean, I basically agree with everything that Wade is saying. If you are going to be inside a resort community and you want your guests to have access to those amenities, a townhome, you're going to have to spend upwards of $500,000. If you want a single family residence, I feel like recently they've even kind of jumped up to maybe high 600s into the 700s. We've definitely seen the property values go up a lot, especially in the communities that are closest to the parks. It seems like that's where people want to buy right now. So, if you are thinking of buying a single family residence, I would definitely plan on spending at least $650 if you want to be inside a resort community. Now, you would also have the option too, to not buy inside a resort community, still be close to the parks. And you would be able to do that for like high 400s. I have a couple clients that have homes like that and they're doing very well. But you are going to be responsible for a lot more if you don't buy inside a resort community. You're going to have to take care of your lawn. You're going to have more maintenance, exterior maintenance. Your cable, internet, things like that wouldn't be included in the HOA. So you're just going to have a little bit more responsibility if you want a single family residence.
Is it possible that I'll have neighbors that are primary home owners? They
Yes.
live in it in any of these
sure.
markets, even in the resort? Or
In some of the resorts, they do allow both, but you're notified. Like I've seen, reading through so many docs, they do say when you're purchasing, look, you're purchasing in a short-term rental community and you're going to have neighbors that are short-term rentals for the primaries. So your primaries can't get upset at you because they know that it's a short-term rental community. For the most part, I mean, even Hampton, all of those, they all say that, that you're buying in an area that we allow short-term rentals.
Does that happen outside of the resort?
Yeah.
In a lot of areas, yeah. So Acadia Estates is a perfect example. I would say small little neighborhood, less than 150 homes, probably 90% of them still operate as Airbnbs. And there are people who live there that even work at the parks, but they fully understand if you're 6 minutes to Disney, you're going to have Airbnbs around you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And a lot of them because like Jess said, we have clients that have bought in what looks like a residential neighborhood, your regular standard. And they have something like, oh my gosh, the neighbors are great. The neighbors are checking on my trash. The neighbors are this. They so they're welcoming. They understand. Mm-hmm. We're kind of like base where you understand that you're functioning because of the tourist. Your job, like Wade said, a lot of them do work at Disney. They live that close. They're working in these environments that are supported because of the tourists. So they understand their neighbors may be tourists and they're paying their income. So they seem to be a lot more welcoming
too. Some of the neighbors will actually make businesses off of you, where they'll say, "Oh, I'm a local cleaner. I clean every single home on this block," and they live in the neighborhood. Sure. We have and where I own, we have a couple owners that actually there's, I think, less than 20 primary owners in the neighborhood that I have my little 3-bed. There's 2 or 3 cleaners that live in my community, and they just run off all the owners. They come highly recommended. They offer other services such as dog walking and things like that too. They have cradles, and they will drop off supplies for your guest. There's a lot of owners that take advantage of the area and living in these resort communities as well.
Yeah, I would like to interject though that I know we're making it sound. I mean, it is there. We are very welcoming to short-term rentals, but not every community allows short-term rentals. So, and it is on a street by street basis if you're looking at a map, which is why it's very important to have a realtor that understands short-term rentals in our market, because you may wind up in a community if you're not with someone who knows knowledgeable what they're the industry, that none of this that we're saying is true because you purchased in the wrong area, if that makes sense. Because a residential community looks like a residential community, but on this street, it's fine. And on that street, it's not. On this side, all the neighbors are cool. On that side, they're not. So you need to make sure that you find an agent, regardless of what agent you choose, that understands the market and the difference between that, because they look the same, but they're not the same.
You can go a step farther there. So some neighborhoods will even restrict guest access. And we'll talk about more of that in a later video too. But some neighborhoods will restrict guest access even. So finding a neighborhood in certain areas that also provide all the amenities to the guest, where some neighborhoods won't, is also going to be a priority for you when buying here.
Yeah, it's a great market, but it just needs to be knowledge or.
Yes.
And speaking of these, let's dive into these resorts, these neighborhoods a little bit. They are very common in your area. let's say I've never been there. I don't have any idea. Talk to me like I'm 3 years old and try to explain to me what these resorts are and, certain things that I might be looking for and things to stay away from.
Definitely.
Yeah. So most of the communities, they would have a clubhouse that would have access to multiple pools, a spa. Some of them have lazy rivers, actual mini water parks. Okay. Depending on the community that you choose, that's going to depend the type of amenities that you have. So some of them also have restaurants and things like that. One of the things that I tell my clients to be conscious of if they are planning on self-managing is that there are certain communities that will not allow access to the amenities if you're self-managing. So that's definitely something that I would be conscious of in our market, just to make sure that you're able to self-manage and that your guests can still access all of those amenities.
It is a unique market. It's a very unique market, and that sometimes we'll get clients that are like, well, I want a duplex or I want this, right? We don't have that here. It's like Wade was saying, townhomes, single family homes, either in residential looking communities where we don't actually have townhomes in residential communities, sorry. But all of our townhomes that are single family rentals are in resort style communities. And so it's unique in that, and people want to come here and see these and drive around and look at them, but a lot of them are in gated communities that have been structured to feel like a resort. It's when people are coming here and going to the hotels and the water parks and all that stuff, we have homes that offer the exact same thing.
So, a lot of these neighborhoods and HOAs in your market have, some really fancy stuff, like float wade pools and all this crazy stuff. I guess 2 questions. Do I have to have those things? And how do I even decide? If there's so many of these to pick from, is there one that's better than the other, or how do I decide? So anyway, first question is, do I have to have those, Jessica?
Okay. It's better if you can have them. If you cannot have them in your price range, I typically suggest that you have a very nice pool area and you have a very good proximity to the parks. So if you're going to give up the amenities, you need to compensate for it with something else, whether it's a very large pool or, a 10-minute drive to the parks.
Is there a small contingency of guests in this market that doesn't want those things? I'm going to ask Wade this question because me personally, I don't think I want to be around that obnoxious wading pool and a sit-in bar pool and all this crap. Wade, are there some people that don't want that?
So not really. And also that's in a separate area of a lot of these HOAs. So where your home is not always backing up to where the little resorts are inside the neighborhoods and things like that. What Jess was referring to, I think, though, was a private pool. A private pool goes a long way here, or even a splash pad pool. We have little spa pools inside of our homes, even on the townhouses.
So what you're saying is I could rent a home in one of these areas that's nowhere near the crazy loud. I just picture tons of kids and loud. But Jessica, you see what I'm saying, right?
Yes.
I prefer to have a little bit more peace and quiet. Is it possible?
Yeah, I'm the exact same way. I understand how the amenities can be a big draw for guests. Me personally, when I'm on vacation with my family, after a day at the parks, I'm going to want to go home, have a nice private pool. I want some quiet. So I do think that there are going to be certain guests that are going to be looking for that more so than, that hustle bustle excitement all the time.
Yeah, I might even market to those. And again, there's probably less of us, you and I, Jessica, out there than
probably.
I would say it's one of the biggest questions I get on my rentals here is how close are you to the clubhouse? It's one of the first questions. Is the pool heated? How much does it cost? And how close are you to the clubhouse? So it's I would say the majority of people here, even prioritizing being close to the clubhouse, might actually be something that I would do. But
yeah, for sure. Especially with kids, you're not going to want to load them up in the car and have to drive to the clubhouse. You definitely want to be within walking distance.
I have a couple things to say on all of those, but like you're saying, there, I think there is something for everybody. Okay, and there are all different kinds of guests, just like we're all different kinds of guests ourselves. And what I mean by that is in this market, if you can be in a community that has the amenities and is close to the parks, a majority of it makes it easier to have a short-term rental because that's what a lot of the market is. But there are the market where it's 8 golfers and none of them want to sleep in a princess bed. So they're going to ignore your house at that. And I know people that have no ceiling and have very beautiful homes, and they focus just on the golfers and the high-end clientele that wants that type of thing. But that is a slimmer portion of people that come here, so you need to be a lot more focused on the way you manage and market your property. Does that make sense? So like if you're closer to the parks, it's so much easier to say, hey, I'm close to the park, and you get that huge market from around the world that wants to come just for the parks. If you're going to focus on golfers, you need to have an in there. You need to know golfers. You need to know golfers' website. You need to know how to market your property to golfers. You need to. So it's very possible. And there's a million golfers out there that have a lot of money, but you need to be able to hone in on that and understand that it's not just going to be as easy, like, as focusing on the theme park clientele. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's just finding your niche and inside the market. There's a niche for everyone in every market. Here, there's so many different avenues you can go. So absolutely, though. Yeah, you're completely.
There's something for everybody. You just have to be able to know who you're going to market to and be able to do it very well.
Riches in the niches, baby. All right, let's talk. I've heard you guys mention that the lower, the lesser expensive properties may not make decent amount of dough. Talk about that. Is there a stigma there on these lower, and also the condo thing, I think. And of course, we'll cover that, what to buy in another podcast. But on the lower price range, what are we looking at doing?
So when we refer to lower priced properties, we're specifically referring to condos for the most part. You can find some cheaper townhouses and single families, especially further away from the parks. But as a whole, we've found they either require a property manager inside these condo associations where you can get a home for 150 to 250K. And you're competing with the hotel business as well. Yeah. So they require a property manager in a lot of situations, or you're competing directly with a hotel that is likely closer to the parks and has probably some hotel amenities as well. So they're probably going to be cheaper than what you'll be comfortable with on your homes. And maybe they're good for if you're just wanting something for a vacation for yourself, for your family, but return wise, they might not be the priority for our market. I found small townhouses, 3 to 5 bedrooms is about the smallest you want to go, with a pool still on those homes. That's probably the smallest I would go if I were looking here.
We see higher returns in single family townhomes closest to the park with theming in a resort style amenity. That is the highest returns, and again, easiest because of the mass space of guests that are coming here.
And of course, again, I preach it fairly often that you need to want to use the property. And to me, that is a huge deal in this market. This might be the only market that I would personally be interested in possibly exiting at some point, because I think this is a good 20-year hold market, maybe 15-year hold market. Because again, at least 2 or 3 of us, I think the 2 ladies and myself have younger children, and Disney is a massive reason why we're doing this. So to me, the creating those memories, right? So again, maybe you're not even looking for a return. I dare I say, I know that's crazy, because we all want to, make a couple extra bucks here and there, but to me, this is the perfect market to buy something for your family. If you're a Disney junkie, which there are many, many, many of us out there, and honestly, I wish I was.
I teared up when I saw the castle for the first time. So no,
a lot of adults too. There's a lot of adults from other countries. No kids.
I wish I was more into it. We're coming down in a month, and I look forward to it big time. And my daughter and my son, he's still so young, he almost kind of doesn't know what's going on, but it's so much fun. But man, I could just see that would be a great move to work into your family, is to have a property. If you're really going to Disney all the time, maybe you're in a drivable like Georgia or Alabama, North Florida, etc. And because it is so expensive to stay on property or to stay anywhere really. And you can work that into your family's lifestyle, where you have your own property to go down there and visit the mouse whenever you want, and go to all these parks and do it multiple times a year. And hopefully this property could subsidize itself with rental income when you're not there. And that is a massive, massive benefit, in my opinion. And again, that for that reason is why I say that maybe a 15-year-old hold, because I hate to say it, but at some point my kids are going to grow out of it,
They are, but guess what? Then they're going to be in sports and coming here. And then they're going to have kids, and you're going to be grandpa, and you want to bring the grandkids here.
That's true. And after 15, 20 years, you've got debt pay down, let's say you put a 30-year note on this
It's
thing.
paid off,
At that
yeah.
point, you've got it half the duration of the loans paid off, maybe more by the time your kids go to college. Or, at that point, if you decide to get out of it, again, you got 15, 18 years worth of debt pay down on this loan that's been done by other people's money. And you've got equity going on there after all these years of debt, paying down that mortgage, paying down the mortgage. And it's much better, in my opinion, to do it that way. If you're the right type of candidate to do the management or handle the management, or even if you want to hire a manager, as long as you're good at it and pay attention. To me, it's an absolute no-brainer. If you're hooked on the Disney thing, like many of us are, I think it's a beautiful thing. But let's talk about in this market in Orlando specifically. I think this market was the originator. That they coined the phrase oversaturation because there are so many rentals in this market. And it's always been like that. It didn't happen overnight. I remember when I very first got into short term, and again, Avery and I, we were early adopters. We've been doing this for a long time. And even back when we first started, what you would hear about Orlando, I mean, we're talking 10 years ago, was there's so many other people doing it. You have to stand out. There's so many other people doing it. So any of you have any advice on how to navigate the fact that there are so many other rentals?
Well, Jess, take it, please.
Okay. So what I was going to say was, yes, we do have a ton of short-term rentals. What we don't have are a lot of short-term rentals that are managed well. The large majority of properties that we go into, you can tell that they're not being taken care of. They most likely are being ran by a very large property management company. So
They're
I think
disgusting homes.
Yeah, it's horrible.
No, they're not. They're
no, some of them. I was in one
maintenance.
yesterday, and I told them the washer overflowed, and they were like, "Oh, okay, we'll get to it in a day or two." That, yep.
Yes, the home's not horrible. The current
Yes.
management, maybe
Yes.
we don't have a lot of need to gut homes. They're just need to be managed and maintained better. And that's why they're selling, because they haven't been, because they were, like you said, Luke, 10, 20 years ago, it was a mass push for that. You had those large companies that were going to England or whatever, and to other countries. I don't know. And mass pushing that you buy into almost a timeshare type thing. And then they were on these contracts where the companies, the property managers that they got under with, they were like 10-year contracts. They had no choice. They had to stay with them. They bought the home, this and that. And now that times have changed, some of these folks, and they've got the equity and are selling, and they can do a lot better when they're managed well. Like, back to Jessica's point. Sorry.
No,
Yeah.
you're good. So yeah, basically, we have a lot of short-term rentals, but we also have a lot of room to do very well. There's a lot of room for improvement. So if you are willing, to put in that little bit of work, give it, your personal touch, between that and the traffic that comes through here, you have a great opportunity to do very well.
Yeah, I agree with that in any market. To me, I hate hearing that. I hate hearing it's too hard. There's so many other people, saturation, this, that, the other. Every bit of that conversation is negative. I don't want to hear it. If you don't think you can do this, don't do it. Because quite frankly, you're just basically saying that you're a loser, and
If you want to be in the top 5%, the other 95% is not even your competition. So what does any of that matter? If you want to provide all of these services to the kind of guests that you want to attract and the kind of service that you would want when you go somewhere, that's up here. So all of the rest of this, it's not even your competition. They're just homes that, hopefully, I don't know. They're not
100%.
They're not your competition. How many cars do we have on the road?
100%.
But
exactly. There's a million cars out there. I should stop making cars because nobody's ever going to buy a car again. I mean, it's ridiculous. Wade, you're a owner operator. You're renting your own home there. How do you stand out? Are you happy with your calendars, and how did you get that way?
So my biggest thing here, we talk about the theming, the resorts being within about 25 minutes to the parks. And we'll go into that more again on another podcast too. But I've found providing family and household items such as like strollers and cradles and pack and plays. There are a lot of people, they're international owners. They just don't know. There are people who are flying cross country that don't have their household kid items or books and puzzles and things like that for their kids. And something that I've added into my homes and people just love it, and they just love having those items inside the property. And it really does help you stick out, and having photos showing that, oh, these are things that you could do with your kids while you're on vacation. You're not leaving all your items, or you have the opportunity to leave all your items at home and they'll still be at the rental when you get there. A lot of families love that, and it's something that's also, it's not hard to do. It's just like, oh, this is something I had when I had kids. And now I can provide it to more families while they have their kids and they're going to make memories of a lifetime.
I don't think
All
it's
right, listen.
oversaturated if you treat people the way you want to be treated. That's all.
There you go. Now you guys got me fired up. We've got a long way to go. We're going to do at least 9 more episodes on this topic. Get way in the weeds on many different subjects when it comes to the Orlando vacation rental market. And I'm grateful to be here with you guys. So we'll be back in just a few with episode number 2.